Hello and welcome. I'm Sinner Tsuro, or just Tsuro, and this is my unprofessional guide for survival for the newbies. Yes, now bear with me. I'm quite inconsistent with my voice. Now, before we start, let me get some. Wait, there we go. The unprofessional. I can't art survival guide. Yeah. You get what I mean. Now, when you start the game, you might wanna first go and gamble. So, gacha? You get it? Everybody knows? It's the wonder stuff. It's the cool stuff. Now, you can either go there by foot or teleport, yeah? And you have two choices. Either spin through normal spin or the lucky spin. Well, the lucky spin is the golden spin, the fun spin, but that's rare. So if you don't have that and you just have normal spins, just I don't know, roll like it counts. All right, now we're getting to the cookies. Every cookie has different skill checks: movement speed, stamina, stealth, extraction speed. Now I'm gonna go run down every single one thing for you, so that'll make sense. So let me cook. Health is health. Every hit you get, one heart you lose. Skill checks is thicker skill check. You'll understand later. Movement speed, faster is better. Stamina, the more stamina, the longer you can run. The faster you gain stamina. Stealth, the less you get detected or targeted first. And extraction speed, you just do your work better, faster. You'll see why. So more stars equals better, except skill checks. Then aside from characters, we've got treasures, and treasures have benefits, but you can only equip 2. But you'll manage. Totally. Now we'll get to our main villains, main antagonists, the crumblets. But I call them a slur. Well, crumblers, yes. And if you ever find out why people call them crumblers, that's me. I'm the reason. Anyway, each one of these guys, or girls, I don't know, show up in certain floors. The vanilla wafer crumbled shows up very commonly in 2 forms, seen almost in every floor except Sweet Serpent Cookie. Sweet Serpent Cookie shows up in floor 10, and Marshmallow Puff shows up after around floor 20. So basically, vanilla wafer crumbled is quite easy until late game, very fast. Marshmallow Puff Rabbit, very dangerous, like scary as heck. Sweet Serpent Cookie, even worse, like every 10th floor. After each encounter, you also gain some research points, and once you've got, like, I don't know, 100%, you can unlock their treasure. Now, for the good part, we can enter an elevator, and no, I'm not gonna do the characters just yet, like every single one of them. I'm gonna save that for another time. But now we can introduce the levels and the ropes, mechanics, all that stuff. Inhale. Alright, now we're in the elevator, and the important part now is selecting your character. There's a layout. You can at least pick 8 players to join together, but depending on how many players you have, the difficulty scales and spikes by a lot. For example, 1 player solo equals only 1 crumbler, but 2 players equals 2, or 3 equals 3 crumblets. And yeah, play at your discretion. Now, once the elevator door opens, you'll be put into one of 3 maps, and depending on which map, you'll face different kinds of challenges, location-wise, in finding machines, basically generator, that you gotta repair, kinda, start up, and with each and every map, there's also a safe zone that you can get to safety to when you find a crumblet. Hello? It's the next morning. Yes, just so you know, this is the next day. I was doing the editing late night, and I had to rewatch my editing just to know what I was doing. I forgot, but let's get let's continue. Alright, and so when you roam around the map, you'll have to complete objectives, basically, to machines. With each additional floor, usually after floor 4, you get 3 machines. Now, each machine you tend to has skill checks and you need to complete them. When you mess up a skill check from the cookie dough, you'll lose some progress. Then there's the other machine. When you try to fix it and you mess up, it'll just splat some ink, or I don't know what it is, cream, sauce, whatever it may be. But if it gets to your screen, well, your face, you can't see, and it's crucial when you can see, of course, else you're kinda cooked. Now that we've explained the machine's mechanics, let's get to items. I won't explain the items, but I can give some helpful tips, at least 1 or 2. You can drop the items using, I don't know, mobile. You can probably hold and drag the item out so you can drop it for a friend if you have one. Or in PC, the easiest way is pressing backspace. Yes. Shops open at floor 4, and after floor 4, every second floor, basically for floor 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, so on and so forth. You'll get a shop, and you can buy 3 things, but they're usually totally randomized and sometimes rigged. The best stocks are there, however. Now, the fun part, events. Usually at floor 6 it starts, then you get more at 7, 8, 9 per chance. When that happens, don't panic, but you can get either something positive, and negative. Negative is flawed, you get less movement speed. Something like some stellar glowy thing will be above. You get movement speed, and the other one where is totally nightmare fuel is blackout. It's exactly how it says, it's a blackout. You won't see jack. Once that happens, panic, but try to complete without dying. Now buff cores, you get a slight buff. Most useful one is receive a healing item. When you pick floor events, chance lower by 3%, however, usually it's still rigged and you get right after you pick one in the event, and it kinda sucks. Now these buff cars, however, only come after floor 3 every second floor, so 3, 5, 7, I don't know. Yes, I can't math. Definitely 3, 5, 7 every second floor. And from the 3 cars you've seen, there is also extraction speed for increasing your mech repair, or I don't know, the generator, and reducing machine amount of numbers you gotta fix. Right now, in early game, that's fine, you don't need to do that. But late game, you totally need to reduce 1 or 2, because else you'd take maybe a bit forever until you're finished. Now, if you feel like you're good to go now, and you feel like, damn, I'm ready now. Well, yesn't. Not just yet. The final trial, floor 10, where the sea serpent appears, and it's an absolute clusterfest. You see blue light, and you just, well, I was overwhelmed at first. Now, the main course is you watch for sea serpent for the most of the time, and you start to look around like a schizo patient. The sea serpent has an insane amount of range where they can perceive your existence. The only way you can like properly survive is hiding behind tables, walls, whatever works, and then start completing floor 10. But aside from that, you're fine for now. If you've completed floor 10, the sea serpent cookie starts to gain like a speed buff times 2 or 3, and it totally can outrun you. Though I didn't come across the sea serpent just yet, but I still chose to check them out just so you guys can see. While that was going on, the door was closing already, so I could have already died anyway. So yeah, right, I haven't explained it yet. The elevator closes in like 30 to 40 seconds, and if that closes, you just perish. Best to escape on time, since I haven't explained it to you yet. And yes, that's that. Thank you for watching, and please like, maybe subscribe, so I can do more fun stuff like this. Even if you didn't, I probably would still, regardless. Now, toodaloo, have fun.